Hi guys, it's good to have you back. It's the Aviator Pro. If you're new to this channel, please do like and subscribe, and also please turn on your notifications so that you don't lose any upcoming videos. Right, so I've been having a little bit of a fight with YouTube regarding copyrights and stuff like that, regarding the music that I was playing in the background. So I just decided, no, let me just take it out. So I just picked up the piano and I said I'll play the music myself so that you don't have any issues maybe that you can raise against me. So you will just get the explanation behind why I have changed my background music. So anyway, the most important thing is now I've just started, and it's been quite a journey. Please forgive me when I skip certain areas because the video was going to be very long. And as I started off from about 5k. As you can see, I picked up the first one. Now I just picked up 4k, and I just skipped on to 10k. Right, so it's been quite a long journey. It took quite a number of hours for me to reach my target. As you can see, I just skipped the video now a little bit, simply because in between the 10s to the 20s and stuff like that, it took me quite a couple of hours. Maybe for you to understand it, you'll see that I would have played probably about probably close to 2-3 hours, right? So as my strategy develops, I was doing in and out, in and out. I didn't want to play continuously, so I was just playing like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on how it's panning out. But as you can see, I just kept on maybe trying to maintain the exact same strategy. So by so doing, I end up having like 30 different videos, and I'm thinking, no, putting all this together will not make sense. I know at times I can play for 15-20 minutes continuously, and that is only dependent on how it's paying. So if it pays well, then I can continue to play, and it's easier for chronology purposes. When I put it on online, you will be able to track everything. So I just played the first part, and then I just skipped the middle part, and then I'm just gonna talk about the last part, which is the most important part anyway. Right, so you'll see that there's been a little bit of a twitch in terms of the strategy. I've realized that as I'm playing, I'm always missing quite a number of pinks, because especially on the second one, because I'm targeting larger multipliers. So this time around, I told myself, okay, I'm going to work with a 50k target, but what I'll do is I'll make sure that I'm not cashing out anything above 30x. So I told myself I'll cash out the second one between 15 and 30, however I feel, right? But the more I get comfortable, when I'm okay, then I can also try maybe an experiment and do something above 50, maybe above 30, maybe a 50x will do. But I told myself this time around, I'm not going to go for 100. Okay, so this is the reason behind. I think I've said part of it in the previous videos. If you look at it very closely, I remember there's one video that had quite a number of pings. Not a video as such, but one of my sessions that had quite a number of pings. But funny enough, all these pings were between 20 and 25. They never went beyond that. So each time there was a ping, I only managed to pick up the first one at 5x, and I was not able to pick up the second one. Right, and I was asking myself if I was consistent picking up a 15x, right? So as you all know, normally I play 200, right? 200 top, 200 bottom, right? So when I pick up a 5x on the top one, that's 1,000. And then when I pick up the 15x on the second one, it's 3,000. So I was asking myself, after having missed about 5-6 pinks, which were all above 15 but below 20, or below 30 rather, and I was just asking myself, if I was consistent, just picking up the 15x, it would have given me 5 times 3,000. That would have been a nice 15,000. In the process, I was trying to target between 50 and 100x. So by the time I get the 50x, it's only going to give me 10k. Yet by that time, if I was picking the threes along the way, maybe I would have been around 18,000. So I decided, okay, no, let me just try something new and just try and focus on cashing out between 15 and 20k or 15 and 30k. So I meant 30x. So I kept on doing the same thing and I tried to focus on that. Yes, it was helping quite a lot. And you can see that at times when the pinks disappear, you start questioning yourself, so what should I do? But in this case, as you can see in that history, it was a brief history. There were quite a number of pinks, but all of them, most of them in fact, were below 20. It was maybe one that went above 100x, but the rest were between 10 and 20x, somewhere there. But in most cases, because of my strategy, I won't be picking up the second one. And because of that, my balance will keep on going low, low, low up until I get depleted. So look at this strategy. I think this is one strategy that you can also employ. You might not actually go for 15x, but try and go even lower. Maybe even 10x is fine, 8x is okay. It just depends on how you feel, your confidence, your balance, all those factors come into play. But all I can tell you is once you start fixing yourself on maybe 3x, right? 3x and an 8x, 3x and a 10x. That's perfect. Do not worry, even if it goes to 1000x or 100x, do not worry about what happens. All you do is just to focus on your strategy. So one thing that I'll tell you is the 3x comes more often than the 5x, right? So you'll see that in 10 rounds, you'll have maybe 1 or 2 5x's, but you'll have more than 3 or 4 3x's. So you see, at one point in time, I'll need to also try and search for something and just try and see if I can play around that. The reason being, there are times that the Aviator is not paying well. At that time that it's not paying well, you'll find out that it will have it will have purples, but the purples not so big purples. It will have 3x's. At times it can go 5-6 rounds continuously, not paying anything less than 3x. Right? But not also going beyond 5x. It can do that. It does 3 point something, 3 point something, 4 point something, then maybe it gives you a 5 point something, then it comes back again to 3.67, 5 point or 4 point something like that. Right? So when you are looking at it, I'm using my strategy, the 5x strategy, you see that I'll be losing out in the process. And my balance keeps on going down. By the time I start getting the 5x's, yes, I do cover at times, but I will not be able to make what I would have made if I was picking the 3x's. I hope you get what I mean. So yes, it was a very, very large, big battle that I battled at this time. But at least I'm just glad that it happened. And one thing, if you noticed, I don't know, maybe it was because of the network, the stage timeout killed me. And I'm sure quite a number of guys might be complaining of the same thing. Whether it's the network or it's the server on the supplier side or service provider side, I do not know. Because I remember in this exact session, it kicked me out using that stage timeout, I think about 3 or so times. And of all those 3 times, it paid on another one, it paid 700x, on another one, it paid 100 and something x, and all of them that it paid all of them that it kicked me out, it paid over 100x. I was so disappointed because I'm pretty sure this was the time that I was supposed to make over 100k, because Christmas is coming. And by the way, there's so much that is coming on. Maybe I'm planning to see if we can do giveaways for Christmas. We only have maybe a week left, but it's just okay. We'll come around that and we'll see how we can get to it. But all I can promise you is something is happening. Maybe we're going to do some giveaways. Not maybe, but I think definitely we're going to do some giveaways. The only thing that I'm left with is maybe just coming up with a day. And I'm hoping that we are going to do that live, right? So I was trying to work around my softwares to see if we can do like a live and stuff like that. So I'm going to definitely do a live, right? And on that day, after maybe a short live, and then we can do the draw. We can do a draw and then we can give out a few prizes, right? So what I'll do is I'll just put up something together. I'll put up an ad before maybe before the end of the week, before we even get to Christmas, and then we'll see how it goes. So most importantly, what you just need to do now is just to keep tuned and just check. Okay, fine, my Telegram is up and running. I'm also going to put that up so that we can also communicate, because I'm also seeing quite a number of people are looking to communicate directly. Yes, unfortunately, I can't use my WhatsApp number, well, for personal reasons. And I'm sure you all know, once the WhatsApp is flooded, then you might not actually have your personal space and stuff like that. But I'm more than glad to communicate. I'm more than happy to talk to you guys and just see if we can get somewhere. The whole idea here is we need to defeat the Aviator, right? We need to benefit. We need to win. We need to withdraw money. That's the most important thing, right? So when Christmas is coming like this, we need to withdraw money and just go and have fun, right? So yes, there I am fighting so hard. I've just picked very close, right? I picked 960 there, and I'm on 35K. You can see I'm hovering around 32, 35. But you'll see, most importantly, what then happens now when I'm going to be cashing out very soon. But the most important thing is the focus that I had. Just stay there. And at this point, I really stayed focused, and I was just hoping and praying that I'll be able to get to my target, right? So from experience, you realize that I have gotten very close to reaching my target, and getting very close, then I get overexcited and end up going all the way back to an extent where I even end up losing maybe 20, 30K, because I just wanted to reach a target that was almost very close. But I mean, it proved to be very, very unattainable. But now, at this point, I'm also very, very, very cautious, because after losing some money to Aviator, you don't want to keep on giving them, because the thing is, when you have a session where you play and then you are going from being a hero to a zero, it's not a very nice experience. So there I am. I've got a chance now to just grow something, and I'm thinking, okay, fine. I've taken up the first 5x, and now it's going up. What is going to be my limit in this case? I see 30, and I was very lucky. When I just pressed on 30, it went on 33, and I just collected on 33 also. That was a very close one. If I missed that one, I would have kicked myself, because my policy was from the beginning, I'm going to pick up between 15 and 30. And now it just got to 30. Of course, you know the time we are always behind the server. So what we see on the screen is actually behind what's happening on the main server. So there's that delay, that lag that is there between the time you press and the reaction, which is probably because maybe the number of people on the server or the internet, for some reason, we're just behind the server. So by the time you press cash out, it will be gone already. That's why you see, normally, even if I'm targeting a 5x, when it goes to 4.5x, 4.6, I'm already pressing. But when you see, when I press, then it goes exactly on 5x in most cases. There I was lucky again. It came up from that time when it gave me 33x, and I got that, and I was so lucky again. I took it at 21 and it went at 23. How lucky was this? It almost looks like I knew it was gonna go. Yeah, you won't believe it. And straight up, I went all the way up, right, to 46. Ordinarily, if I kept on using my old strategy of maybe trying to wait for a 50x or more, you realize that I would have missed this 23x and I would have missed this 33x. And this point, guys, I'll tell you, to be honest, I was very lucky. I was very, very lucky, because I just felt like time to go out, right? I spoke, I think it was I was chatting in the comment section. I think it was with Esther or something like that, and we were talking about that steel voice that talks to you to say cash out, cash out, cash out, take it out, take it out, take it out. Several times I've felt like that, and I didn't do it, and it flew away, and there's something inside me telling me, no, you can hold on, and at times I'm thinking, if it goes, then I'll be the one to blame, let me cash out. And the moment I cash out, then it keeps on going on and on and on, and it goes over 100x, over 200x, at times over 500, at times over 1,000, And I'm just asking myself, okay, when will I learn, and when will I start implementing? So there I was, lucky again. I get a 5x again, and I'm happy. I'm on 47K. But what I want you to look at very importantly is, I'm on 47,066, right? Being on 47, my target is 50. But I just want you to look at the way this is going to take me a longer time than what I would have expected, right? So ordinarily, this wouldn't take me 5 minutes to get, the next 3 grand just to make sure that I get to 50. But you realize, like I always say, it's the same old story. That moment that I think I'm getting there, I start going down and down and down again. So you'll see again, I went down, right? When I went down, that's when I picked up, and I even got the guts to pick up a 10K at the end. But what's important is I want you to see the trend in which the Aviator operates. So the Aviator operates in a way that it pays in phases. So it's got a phase that it opens up and pays. Then it also gets a phase where it starts collecting money, right? And by collecting, we can ordinarily say, yes, it's collecting. But in all honesty, it won't be collecting really. It when it collects, it does a 0-0. Yes, I understand. Or maybe a 1.1, 1.5. But anything above 1.2 for me is not collection. The only thing is our expectations, because we're used to it giving bigger multipliers. We are used to cashing out 5x, 10x and stuff like that. So when those don't come, we've got an option not to cash out. And that's our own fault, because we are the ones choosing to do that. You see, again, there was a stage timeout for some reason, and let's see what went on here, because I wasn't able to put any money. I was very disappointed. But anyway, in this case, I was saved a little bit, because that's 400 saved. Right, so you'll see that strategy of maybe looking for the bigger multipliers is what kills us at times, right? And not actually focusing or concentrating. Because when I got to 47,000, if I probably changed my strategy to say, let me put in 2,000 and then wait for a 2x or a 3x, whichever way, which I already got about 2 of them or 3 of them, I would have reached my target very quickly and very easily. But because I maintained the same strategy, I kept on battling, right? So we'll try and see if we can get an equilibrium between these, because what's happening now is I've got a choice to either change my bets from 200 or 300, from 200 to 2000, right? If I start playing 2000, it means I do not need 5x anymore to make 1,000. If I put 2000, then I may need 1.5x to make 1,000. I hope I'm making sense. So the risk is, if it goes before that, then you lose a lot of money. But if it doesn't, then you benefit, because it gives you more 1.5x's, way more than any other thing. So when I'm playing and I'm towards my target, I'm just asking myself, should I change my strategy or should I not? Because I remember 2 times or 3 times I was almost reaching my target. In fact, I actually, like sometime last week, I reached my target. I even went beyond my target. And when I got to about 57K, I was thinking, let me just build it a little bit and make an extra 10K, make it 60, then withdraw 50, send it to the bank, and then remain with 10. The 10 is what I'll use maybe for the next day. And guess what? I started playing, I changed, and then I started playing big again. When I started playing big again, I started losing, up until I had to stop somewhere and I said I had to start again. But I ask myself at the end of the day, definitely it's not going to be a night that I'll be able to sleep well, even though it was profit, but I won't sleep well. So I do not want those experiences, because they give me headaches the next day. They give me headaches when I'm thinking about, when I start calculating my things, I needed to pay for this, I needed to do A, B, C, D, we've got plans. And the Aviator doesn't know we've got plans. It will just behave the same way it will behave. But what I want you to check is that same trend that has always been going on in most of my videos, that at one point in time I gotta be losing somewhere, going down, 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 all the way down. But the persistence and the patience is what is always paid, right? And maybe secondarily, it would be the balance that I would also have. But from the beginning, if you look at this, I started off with about 5,000, right? Starting off from 5,000, I built it very nice and slow. At times, I even dropped down to say between 3 and 5x. I'm not going to 5x directly, but I can go between 3 and 5x. And on the second one, I can go for 10x. I can go for 15x. But I will tell myself, when I start, I don't go beyond 15x, right? So the whole idea is, let me build my balance. And you'll see in most cases, I build my balance very quickly, like from 5 to 7, from 7 to 9, from 9 to 10, 11, 12. When I just start getting maybe to about the 15s, 20s, then I start getting a little comfortable. Then I can now start targeting the 50, the 5x's and the 15x's. Then I start getting a little more flexible and play the way I feel, to say, okay, this time around I'm going to let it run. If not, maybe let me just try and pick up this thing early and stuff like that. But right, as you can see in the video, I'm being very consistent at this point, and I'm just thinking I'm not going to repeat the exact same mistake that I've done in the past, right? To start changing my bets and stuff like that. Yes, it's a lot of risk. Yes, it might pay, but I've done my cost benefit analysis and I realized it's not a very, very good thing for me to do, right? So as you just checked in the brief history, you can see that there's been a 3.0x, there's been a 2x, there's been a 1.14x, there's been a 4.36x, and there's been a 3.84x. If I knew that this was what was coming, I would rather then put 2,000 or 3,000 on top and then just wait for 2x. That would have given me a lot of money, right? It would have made me reach my target easily and very fast. But now I'm pushing and I'm still going down. Remember, I was at 47,000. And now I'm still going down. The only thing that I've managed to do is to be consistent with still playing 200 top, 200 bottom. That helps me because I've always asked myself a question frequently. How did I even get to 50K? If I could get to 50K using the 200 top, 200 bottom, so what is it that is going to stop me from continuing and getting the next 5K in the same manner, right? So that is just to maybe say, make a further 5K, maybe get a 15x or something like that, right? If I get depleted, I get depleted slowly, right? And if I get depleted slowly, it helps me quite a lot, right? So now I'm going down. And at this stage, as you can see, I'm on 41,666. And remember, I was on 47. So I'm still losing. Now there's about 6K that is gone, right? 6K is like almost like about 12, 13, 14 rounds without any sensible cash out. And this is all because I am focusing more on picking up a 5x somewhere if possible. And you know, Aviator being Aviator has got no respect for anyone. If it wants to go at 4.87, it's up to it, right? If it wants to do 2x, up to it. It can dwell on the 2x's and 3x's in a for a very long time, right? So one thing I was just laughing at when I was playing is there's a point that I really felt it. I really felt the pain. The Aviator went for 16, almost 16 good rounds. They were all blues. When you start thinking, no, this time around it's gonna go, then it only gets to about 1.98x. It goes. I was surprised because in my entire playing time, I've played the Aviator. I've never seen it go beyond 10 straight blues. But that time it did 16 blues, and I was surprised. How on earth does this happen? And I was so confident. By the time it gave me the 10th blue, I was confident that when it's coming, it's going to come big. Then I kept on coming, and I even got to a point where I increased from 200 to 300, from 300 to 500. Then I realized if I'm not clever, this thing will damage me, it will finish me very quickly. So let me maintain my strategy. Remember what I said in the beginning. I normally then write things on a small piece of paper that I stick on a wall, and I keep on checking to see if I'm still on the right track, if there's anything that I need to change or maybe twitch or something like that, so that I don't keep on losing or maybe going back to the old mistakes. So that has helped me a lot, hey? The only thing that I'm left with now is just to remember to check my notes. Because without the notes, I'm telling you, I can bet with everyone or anyone. I can promise you that once you have this whole thing of, I know it, I will remember it, not a single person will remember. Once you start playing, there's this whole frenzy that comes, that hits you. And when it hits you, you will not be able to remember exactly what you planned from the beginning. And you will only remember very sharply, like very, very sharply, as soon as the money is depleted. When you look at it, gone, the money is gone. Then you start thinking, you start remembering, oh, I should have cashed out my capital. Right, so very important. It looks so funny, but when I start playing, I play. When I get to about 15, 20, I cash out 5K, I send it back to the bank, right? So that if it happens that I lose, I'll be crying, yes, because I lost some profit. But that 5K is in the bank. If I'm going to start afresh, I'm not going to start afresh the same day. I'm going to tell myself, okay, today it's enough. Tomorrow is when I start. And I'm not going to start before this time. If it's going to be 4 p.m., yes, let it be 4 p.m. If it's going to be 5 p.m., yes, it's going to be 5 p.m. So, yes, back to the video, you can see that I'm on 39. Remember, I'm coming from a background where I was almost reaching my target, and I was at 47x. I was at 47K, and now I went down. So this time around is the first time that it was almost getting to 5x, and it doesn't. It goes on 4.73, a very painful experience, because at that point in time, I'm almost getting my finger ready to cash out, because normally I play on the phone. I don't like playing on the computer, but I'm still believing, because if you checked on the history, the last 50x it paid was quite a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was like 30 rounds ago. But right now, I'm just starting to believe, because of what has happened. I'm almost down 10K at this point, and it has been chowing me so bad. I'm thinking probably this is the time that it's going to come. So I'm still believing something is going to come, right? And I just keep hanging in there, and I'm even contemplating, will I wait? Because that's one of my things that I also do. I start thinking, maybe I should change my strategy, because I need to cover up for what has happened in the past and stuff like that, because now I've already been missing these 4x's and stuff like that. You start questioning yourself, should I change something or whatever? But one thing that I always remind myself is that I just need to stick to the strategy, right? So I would encourage everyone, when you are playing, come up with a strategy, come up with a plan before you start playing. When you are playing, stick to the strategy, right? When you stick to it, whatever happens, even if you start losing or what, yes, keep focusing on the same strategy. So this time around, it's coming and it's looking very good. And I'm thinking, because it hasn't been paying, let me actually take a risk. It is actually a big risk, right? I let it go. 5x, I passed. When I got to 10x, my target at this point was actually 15x. But I was just thinking, what will happen if it goes before 15? Let me just get my 2 point something. So I got slightly above 10. I think it was about 12. And this time around, I'm just thinking, no, let me just wait a little bit. I can do 100, but no, 50x is okay. I'll take my 10K. Immediately when I look up there, I'm thinking, if I take my 5K, it's going to be well with me. And I did take my 5K and my 10K, and immediately I got my target. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you very soon. We'll be talking on my Telegram that I just opened. So I'll be notifying you of how it goes. Thank you very much, and have a great one.